Here's a guy who's confused. Here's Charles Palmer, an NBA journalist, a black man himself, literally cheering for the fire. Not just for the people lighting the fire and rioting, not even for George Floyd. He was actually cheering the fire, like cheering for the virus, really. Cheering for pure destruction. Burn it all down, he said. What a photo there, too. Until the rioters started to get a bit close to his fancy gated community. Then his tone changed. They just attacked our sister community down the street. It's a gated community, and they tried to climb the gates. They had to beat them back, then destroyed a Starbucks, and are now in front of my building. Get these animals the F out of my neighborhood. Go back to where you live. Whoa, that moved fast. From burn it all down to don't you animals burn my fancy house, and worst of all, my fancy Starbucks, you animals. It sounds a bit racist. By the way, that burning building, turns out it was a 189-unit affordable housing building for the urban poor. Yeah, so that's the left, the media, the leftist media, same thing. Here's an observation by Bernard Carrick, the former commissioner of New York Police Department. How could this all be organized for the same night? Don't tell me it's all organic. Nothing moves like that unless it's pushed. Here's what he said. Is there anyone that truly believes that this was not an organized event? How much do you think it would cost for communications and travel and manpower for an event like this? Whose money is behind it? Here's what he means. Isn't that good fortune? Isn't that good luck? A cache of bricks suitable for throwing through windows that had just been deposited on the street in New York. Now, other New Yorkers report that there's no construction nearby, but a truckload of bricks was dropped off. That sure is a good coincidence, isn't it? I think there are peaceful protesters who are upset about the world, who are upset about being locked in their homes for 2 months too, by the way, who want to go out and do something positive. I think there are people of good faith amongst them, but watch this. Watch an agent provocateur approach a group of Black Lives Matter protesters and try to get them to start a riot. Take a look at this.
What? Are you kidding me? You're asking us to flip over the truck?
Okay, no.
Are you kidding me?
We do not instigate because it comes back on the block.
You just asked us to flip over the truck?
No.
This man just asked us to flip over the truck with his camera out.
No. It doesn't come back on us.
He just asked us to flip over the truck with his camera out.
Who are you with?
Hold it down.
Who are you with?
Wait. I'm talking about this exact problem right now.
Yes.
Hold it down. Listen.
He's running.
He's fucking running.
We got you on video.
Hold it down. If anyone in the crowd is trying to incite violence.
They ran him off, but who was he? Who was he? Who was this man I showed you the other day, dressed from head to toe in black, face mask, umbrella to block cameras, quietly smashing windows by himself, building after building, to get the party started in Minnesota? Who was he? Antifa is one answer. Their tactic is called Black Bloc. They all dress in black from head to toe, covering up any identifying marks, covering their faces, covering tattoos, make it hard for police to identify them later. It's a tactic. They're organized. They're pros. They've done it before. Speaking of which, look at this from Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. She's the leading Democrat congresswoman protesting safely. Well, that's a helpful idea. Bring snacks and protest signs. That's a good idea. But look at some of those. Bring goggles and a mask. Bring nondescript, solid color layered clothing, covering identifying tattoos. Heat-resistant gloves? What on earth are you preparing for? Look at the bottom there. Don't bring your cell phone without turning off Face or Touch ID, going on airplane mode and disabling data. What are you expecting to happen here, Alexandria? So hide your face, dress anonymously, wear heat-resistant gloves? Sir, you don't need that to protest. You need that to riot. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is giving advice on how to riot. What else is her advice for? This is organized. The agents provocateurs, the bricks, the riots, the instigators. I don't know who's behind it. I know that George Soros has in the past supported Antifa. He brags about sponsoring civil unrest around the world, including outright revolutions. Why wouldn't he try to do the same in America against his nemesis, Donald Trump? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.